Now, day 3, verse 9. Then God said, "Let the waters below the heavens be gathered into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. God called the dry land earth, and the gathering of the waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Or as we learned, God reflected upon it and saw that it was beneficial. So this says that all of the waters gather so that dry land can appear. So when all of the water gathers into one place, then that means that all of the land also gathered into one place as well. So Earth's land began as a single continent in creation. If you're like me, I'm sure you have looked at a map and said, it looks like all of this stuff fits together somehow. And you would be absolutely right. That is what we are learning here on day 3, is that God has gathered all of the waters together so that dry land can appear. And all of the land is in one place. And so the appearance of land then leads God to name the waters below it seas. And picking up in verse 11, it says, "Then God said, let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees on the earth bearing fruit after their kind, with seed in them. And it was so. The earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seed after their kind, and trees bearing fruit with seed in them after their kind. And God saw that it was good. There was evening and there was morning, a third day." Now the word kind is very key to a lot of creation and a lot of things in Scripture. So the earth bearing fruits after their kind with the seeds in them, and the same thing for the plants and the trees that are bearing fruit. So supernaturally, in this day, the plants, trees, etc., they grow, and they grow with the appearance of age. Again, it's supernatural, like they produce seeds, they have fruit. I mean, if you were to walk into the forest and cut down a tree that looked like it was many years old and count the rings on it, you would say, well, this tree is 100 years old, even though it had just sprouted up. Keeping in mind that God is reflecting upon each day and that it is beneficial and that it is going to be beneficial for mankind, what good is it going to do Adam in a couple of days to show up with seeds just buried in the ground? He doesn't have anything to eat. So, in a supernatural way, God had to provide a way for man to sustain life once he's created in a couple of days. Now, 3 important observations here, and we're going to go back to this word kind. Reproduction after their kind. So the word kind, or min, equals the highest order division of life in creation. Okay, like canine is a kind, like a wolf, fox, or a dog. Feline is a kind, like a lion, a bobcat, or like your normal house cat. And the second one is vegetation grew out of the ground. Okay, meaning that plants are formed from the land. And that's going to be important when we talk about the end of creation and we take a look over at the fall of man. And then the plants fully formed by fruit at the end of the day. So they were ready to provide food, which is what I had just touched on. And if you're wondering for whom or what, we already know that that's Adam and Eve and the animals that are going to be created as well. So day 3, the Lord has created land and plant life. Now next time we're going to take a look at days 4, 5, 6, and we'll also look at 7 because that's a very short one. But thinking about reflecting upon these first 3 days and the things that are created, God is still going to be doing creating on days 4, 5, and 6. But on day 4, the things that he is creating are going to fill the things that he created on day 1. Just like on day 5, the things created there will work to fill what he created on day 2, and then the same thing with day 6 and day 3, what we just talked about, the land and the plant life. And we know what he filled that with on day 6, but that's just really cool to think about that. You can, take these 3 days and the things that were created and put them on one side of a graph, and then in the next 3 days put those on the other side, and it makes sense that, okay, these first 3 days God was doing all of this creating of things, and then the next 3 days he's going to be filling, obviously again still creating, but filling those things that he has already made. So I hope that you'll tune in to the next episode as we will look through the rest of this week, and then following that we will do a part 3 and really break down day 6 and be able to set the record straight for that. Thank you for listening. You can follow me on all the social media outlets, Twitter, Brandon Tubbs 24, Instagram, at okayestbrandon on there. And if you want to subscribe to the show, help to donate to the show, you can follow me on Patreon, and that is just at Just One Man. So thanks again for listening, and I hope to see you next time. See you.